and welcome back to Bard College. We're back at the Gearbox, where our adventurers spent the last session defending the workshop from some union members intent on acquiring the Impulse Core, while Otua kind of submitted himself to the Magian Yarek Voshev's inquiries. Such inquiries found that Yarek was of the opinion that this crystal fused to the forearm of Otua was likely to result in his eventual extinction. Not willing to wait around for that to happen, Otua wasted no time in allowing the Magian, together with Zam's pointed help, to remove the crystal and the entire left arm of Otua. It's not like a Magian doesn't have a ready-made replacement, though. He's Otua now, with his metal arm intact, was able to further protect the Gearbox from the then escaped Nexivus, who seemed to have infiltrated a huge automaton, namely a Grav Drive Guardian. And although Nexivus was able to subdue Otua, it was not very long-lived, as the rest of the party were able to destroy the Grav Drive Guardian, and Yarek was able to entrap the consciousness of Nexivus into the Impulse Core. Taking some time to rest and plan, you guys were given stay in the old part of the workshop, which is a glorified warehouse. Not the most accommodating kind of lodgings that you've ever stayed in, but you had precious few options. So, having taken a long rest, you've all leveled up. You're now all level 5.
Yeah.
Woo.
You've all been supplied with guild credentials to the Gravitic Stabilization Engineers Guild, presided over by Lorcan Stucker. However, your path forward is not clear to me. So the question is, what would you like to do next? Everyone's rolled for everything and chosen everything for their level up, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. We can go straight into roleplay if you want, or you can have an above-the-table discussion. I don't mind.
Maybe we should have an above-the-table discussion, because I have no idea what we're doing next.
We're expecting Lorcan and Stucker to be on our ship. Last we arranged.
That's what he arranged to do. And he's clearly wants this impulse drive, because I mean, who knows when he hired the other bandits, but he's met Zam in a bar and given him the job as well, so he's clearly desperate to get rid of it.
Uh-huh.
I suppose we've sort of gotten rid of it. We've changed it. We've changed its nature and used it for a different purpose. So.
I mean, I have an idea of a plan to sort of show him some sort of impulse drive fake or real or something, and then we, I don't know if the credentials we just picked up at the end of the last session work for us or not, but we've got credentials from Lorcan otherwise. And then potentially set him up as well so he gets arrested for illegal doings.
I think one of the main questions we need to answer is what are we going to do with the impulse core? Because Lorcan was bothered that it was going to go into the big machine and that was going to replace the miners on the planet. Obviously, it's not going to do that anymore. So if he still wants it destroyed, that's one thing. But if we just leave with it, that's another thing. But then there's concerns about leaving with this powerful AI entity. Do we want to leave with it? Do we want to destroy it?
Keep it.
So is that without going or like how do we win everything? Are we thinking we'll go back to the ship and see what's there and then head to Chelanos Prime? Now that we've got papers, but do we need them? Like, do we need to go there anymore? We were getting papers to take the impulse core for Lorcan.
Yeah.
One of the things that you had hypothesized is that getting to the surface might provide the broken blades with an opportunity to go into hiding or acquire some transport to, find their way home.
Yeah, but watch.
My initial thought when coming to this planet was we would go to our cantina and we would organise travel for these guys, and then they would have the choice of whether they wanted to go home or stay. If they've been in prison for a long time, they probably want to go home. But now that we've landed on this planet, we're not even on the planet yet, but we're kind of getting involved in the politics of this planet. Do we cut and run with the core, or do we stay longer? Because if we go to the surface, we can be like, hey, let's get this freight. These guys can go in the freight. But we could pack them up in a box and they can go home. There'll be transport everywhere. But if we land on the planet, does that then take us further into that? Whereas I know Kirsty was saying about chasing Dornavar.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the path we want to go on, then it kind of needs to be a dump and run of the broken blades. If they want to get dumped, or if they want to stay or whatever. But so far we've got two, nuclear powers. One is an old man and one is now a small core.
Cool.
So we're collecting nukes. Not even nukes, more powerful than nukes.
Yeah.
I think that maybe Dornavar is like our lead on the next potential Nexibus. Because he seems to be chasing after them.
Yes.
And we don't trust that he's a nice guy to wield such power.
Yeah.
ADG vibes, doesn't he?
Hmm.
But me, that opens up more questions. So if he's chasing after these powers, and we have two, we're going to become a target of his. So instead of us going after him, should we not try and go for the next Nexibus before he can get to it? I don't know how we do that.
Ideally, but yeah, exactly how. How do we find
I mean,
that
presumably
out?
we're wanted in the Astral Ascendancy space and Stellar Concord space, so we're not in a great position to be chasing after leaders of armies.
Hmm.
Okay, right. We're talking about loads of different things. We need to like chop
Yeah.
it down into one step. So, the core. Are we destroying the core or are we keeping the core? Craig wants to keep.
I think there's a case for destroying it, but it's also so too as patron, essentially.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Level 5 human.
we're making a discernment between if this one is so bad and needs to be destroyed, then what about Tharavold? Shouldn't we go and bash his head in by the same like? Do you know what I mean? A bit easier to start with that one. Like this impulse core is probably more difficult to destroy than that old guy.
Okay, so we keep the impulse core. We're not going to destroy it.
Yeah, I mean, first thing we've got to do is negotiate with.
That means
Yarrick.
we have to deal with Yarrick and Lorcan Stucker because he's going to be on the way quick when we get back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we got that sorted. Then, Broken Blades. Are we taking them to the planet, or are we leaving them here, or are they being told they're coming with us?
I guess we can talk to them.
We've got credentials, so if they want to go to the planet on their own and sort out a lift, that's fine. We
Yeah.
could escort them. They could come with us. They could stay here and, I don't know, work in the gearbox or something.
That is something that we, I guess, can't fully control, and we can talk to them.
Yeah.
In the game.
Oh, cool. And then the last thing, if we're keeping the core, we're getting rid of the Broken Blades. What are we going after Dornavar, or are we running from Dornavar?
I think if Dornavar's around and we have kind of a lead on him, then we should try and track him down. Because it feels like the opportunity is
he
there.
Was spotted at the gearbox. Or maybe spotted. I suspect he was spotted.
Ram might have said something along them lines, didn't he?
For all we know, he's down on the planet right now looking for the next Nexus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could turn up and be like, oh, we've got two of them on us. Why don't you have these two?
Well, yeah. We could
That's
also...
the downside to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Yarrick can discern more from the Nexus impulse core about its nature and about whether it's possible to detect other ones. He's maybe the closest kind of mad scientist ally we've got right now that could maybe do that, you know?
I think if we want to keep Yarrick on side as a, they say, mad scientist sort of NPC backup, I think we have to do something about Lorcan. Convince him that the job's been done. Otherwise, he's just going to keep hiring more people.
Yeah.
What's the state of the sorry, what's the is the workshop really messed up now since we had that fight? Is it like visibly and obviously kind of, I know the place isn't completely destroyed, but
Zam bisected at least two people with his axe in the shop front.
Yeah, he did.
Was there still a unconscious bandit leader?
She was in the armory. Yeah, she's unconscious, not dead.
I'm just wondering if we can convince Lorcan that we've decommissioned the Magian's workshop.
I was thinking about potentially maybe like taking a bit of the neck with us. Proof it's been destroyed. And if Yarrick can like make sure he's got it signed or something, is like quality seal on it, and then we can go, oh look what Lorcan's got. He stole that.
Oh, you mean so like framing Lorcan with stolen? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting the impression that you want to talk to Yarrick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go straight into the role play. I'll bear with me 1 second.
Did it make sense the way that I broke that down? Then I don't mean to be like
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
telling everyone,
Yeah.
but just trying to like make it more digestible, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take in a night's rest in the storage warehouse. In the morning, Bram brings you a breakfast that he was able to procure without straying too far from the shop front. It is mainly porridge oats and a powdered chocolate drink. Nothing too extravagant, but yeah, it's the best he could do. As he enters the warehouse, the kind of small warehouse, how does he find you all appointed? How have your characters been sleeping, or what have they been doing?
Yeah, Tua didn't sleep greatly, and having taken on some severe wounds, I'm recovering from surgery. He's very slow and dozy at the minute.
Just do a medicine check for me. Okay.
19.
You're even though it probably hurts a lot around your rotator cuff, the ambulation and articulation of your joints and limbs is like almost exactly as it was. I guess, even though it's sore, it moves very slickly. But it would be uncomfortable and unusual to try and even sleep with, as it probably does weigh a lot more than your original arm. What about Kryn? How's Kryn poised?
I think he's kind of like probably slumped up against the wall with a window nearby, sort of half sleeping through the night, listening out for disturbances.
Oh, make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh yeah, 21.
Natural 20.
Yeah, natural 20.
At disadvantage.
Oh, sorry, yeah, no, so it's the 8, yeah.
Yeah.
6 as best.
So, with an 8, you doze in and out of consciousness after a very busy and involving evening, fending off bandits and killing robots. With an 8, you could swear at some point you heard something or someone try the lock at the back of the warehouse. Unsuccessfully.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe put the willies, like in terms of a bit of paranoia, over you.
Yeah.
Yeah. what about Zam? How are they poised or appointed across the evening?
Sam doesn't sleep a lot because of his race. He only sleeps 4 hours, so I guess he would be more vigilant. I think he knows that we're relatively safe here, but he's still a little apprehensive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And not like on guard or anything like that, like not keeping a watch, but also alert, like ready to go type of thing, prepared.
Just give me, because you sleep less, I will give you a perception check, just a straight roll.
17.
With a 17, Comet sleeps about the same as you, as a Fey being. And his condition seems to have made him quite wheezy. And you, at one point, you spy him going through some of the boxes in the warehouse. What would you, if you see him kind of rifling through things, trying not to disturb anyone, but with his coughing and wheezing, finding that almost impossible, what would you do?
I'd walk over and ask him if he needed something, if he's looking for something in particular.
He coughs like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. And he kind of hurriedly kind of pulls a sheet over where he was looking.
No, come on. What do you need?
I was trying to see if this Magian was on the level or whether he was using cold iron.
Any Magian, really, on the level.
I don't know. They're kind of weird, right? They're not people. You can't trust them, but they ain't. Well, at least they ain't elves.
What difference would it make if he is using cold iron?
That stuff is poison. It's evil. Any cachet of cold iron, any distribution of cold iron, any cold iron trading network needs to be abolished.
Is that why you're like this? And he'll point to his chest.
He coughs. Yeah, I've been around it. I don't want anybody else to end up like me. It's deadly to us, you know.
How so?
He holds up his hand and he has like a cut right the way across it. Cold Iron Dagger did this 12 years ago. Ain't never healed properly.
Oh. That's terrible. Why are you so close to where the cold iron is? Surely you'd want to be as far away from it as possible.
Me and my buddies, we swore we'd come to Chelanos Prime and we'd stop the cold iron extraction. I'm willing to take one for my people if it means that they can live more safely and more freely from the scourge of cold iron.
Is this a common sentiment amongst your people? Or is it just
not common enough?
Okay. You have a personal grudge.
You would too.
Okay. I understand why you're against call down. I'm sorry for so many questions. I'll leave you be.
He just goes back to fluttering his wings. One of them is pretty broken. Ina, have she been appointed throughout this evening?
She, I think, is happy with the same things that she focused on the previous night for her trance. So that's firearms and persuasion. So maybe she would have gone into it wondering what she might encounter in terms of like visions during her trance, whether she'd see the same person in her dreams or not. But
sure.
Yeah, how she was in the morning would, I guess, depend on that.
All right. Then make yourself a religion check.
Ooh, I would like to have a go at using my theurgic insight, which is a new thing for level 5. When you make an ability check that uses either arcana or religion proficiencies, you... Oh, wait, I'm not proficient in it. Does that matter?
Yes, it does.
Oh. So because I'm... Oh. That's bad. Okay.
You can become proficient in one of those every night.
I see. I am proficient in Arcana, but I'm not proficient in... Well, fine, I'll just make my religious check and forget about it.
Just, yeah. Requires a
I
bit
got
of
a
planning,
15.
I think.
Fine.
A 15 is pretty good.
Uh-huh.
If Ina is not concerned with reaching out to the astral network, the collective consciousness of the astral elves, what is she most worried about, or where does her concern lie?
She is worried about Dornavar.
Ooh.
She is worried about whether he was here, what he's doing, what he has to do with all of this. I think that has to be that. Like, he's someone that she kind of grew up with, right?
Indeed.
Or certainly spent a lot of the last few dozen years with, at least. But I think she's kind of grown up with him.
So
I think that would be a big anxiety for her.
You go back in your memory to your almost religious dedication to the Cantor of Echo's instruction. Your religion was cataloguing, documenting, profiling, collecting, organizing, displaying. But about 20 years ago, you saw a side to Dornavar that you hadn't seen hitherto. You think back to his explicit instructions to compile a collection of architectural specifications, diagrams, charts about the surface of Erindor.
Okay.
You know that all of that information about how to navigate Erindor, how it was compiled into a device.
And is that... Sorry.
Oh, go on.
And is that post or pre-sundering?
Post.
Knowledge.
Sundering.
Post. Okay.
Oh, sorry, the knowledge, i.e., all of the charts and books and everything was pre-sundering.
Oh, okay, right. I'm doing it post, yes.
You're doing it post-sundering. You
That's
know
important.
that
Okay.
about 20 years ago, he used that device to go down to the surface. With a successful religion check, I will allow you to make a subsequent history check at advantage.
At advantage. Okay. Advantage. A 19.
With a 19, you remember that he asked you to make another one because he was very insistent that he could not get back down to Erindor without that knowledge. He could not petition the Archseer, the head of House Ormathax, for permission to go down to Erindor post-sundering without that information. These were probably the only crosswords you ever shared with Dornavar. You were unable to recreate that device, not because of a lack of resources, but because you devoted more time looking after your father's escalating illness. Since that trip that he was on 20 years ago, he was never the same. And your focus was never the same.
Ooh. So he asked me to compile all this knowledge into making a device. He used that to get to the surface. And in that trip, it messed up my father. And then he came back and said, make me another one. And then I didn't do it because I had other stuff. I had to look after my dad.
You tried, but you couldn't.
I tried to make another one, but I was distracted. Okay. And has that been like a source of tension for 20 years? Or did he get over it?
Your relationship became more fragmented after that.
Okay.
After your failure.
Okay. And what was the nature of the device?
An electronic record compilation of maps, terrain, buildings, subterranean labyrinths, the high security areas underground on Erindor.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Even with a 19, you know that what you did and you know the nature of the task, but recalling specifics is, you can't remember a floor plan that you read 20 years ago, for example.
No, that's fine. Okay.
So Bram comes in and says, good morning. The master passes on his best wishes. He hopes that you slept okay. I'm sorry this breakfast isn't enough, but it's all I could scrape together. Hands it out
it's fine.
for you all.
Thank you, Bram.
The master is in his workshop. I cleaned up the shop front as best I could. He has some useful devices for that. But there was one of the people who came yesterday. We've had to lock him up.
Oh.
It's not the kind of thing my master would normally do. He's just a bit scared.
Maybe we
Anyway.
could talk to them.
Yeah, I think he'd like that. He'll be through the workshop whenever you're ready. And Bram exits.
So, well, I'd like to talk to Yarrick about if he can give me more information about the elf that passed through here recently. Does everybody else want to talk to him? Shall we go?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sure he'll help us. If he's helped us so far.
We can offer to deal with the bandit that's locked up somewhere if he's scared of them.
I think perhaps that might not be the last of them. I could hear someone trying the window last night. Well, they weren't successful.
Really? Oh. Sent by Lorcan, do you think?
Probably. Seems like he made it his business to hire as many people as he could to obtain that impulse core.
He must have really thought we were doing a bad job.
You can move your tokens wherever you'd like to go. Latch has spent her time sleeping. She's kind of groggy when she comes around, which is unusual for an elf, especially one who's local. Thrixie has just spent all of her evening tinkering away. Comet, having been kind of bequeathed to the Magian, goes and reports to Bram for presumably some more tidying up jobs that need doing. Yeah.
I go through to the workshop.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way we go. Is it? Oh, it's up here on the left, is it?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
You can see Yarrick at his desk. Doesn't look like he's slept at all. He's just completely absorbed in some transcribing, really oblivious that much time has passed since he last saw you.
Good morning.
Good morning. I trust you all had an adequate sleep?
Not so bad. Did notice O'Tua not looking so comfortable. But maybe that's to be expected.
Yes. How's the prosthesis?
So, to be honest, it could be worse, but yeah, it's just there was a lot. Yesterday was a heavy day.
I'm unused to fitting a prosthesis to someone of your rather diminutive stature. Perhaps some modifications are required. You can see as he speaks, he looks constantly towards the impulse core, which is floating on a small electronic plinth, rotating with a kind of an oscillating orange rhythm around the electronic devices, around the electronic lighting.
Have you made any progress with the impulse core with next of us? Is it okay? Have you communicated at all?
The programming is complex. I was able to establish a line of dialogue. However, its chosen communique were rather negative towards you.
Still angry then?
Well, I rerouted some of its power reservoirs, and I seem to have further isolated it. I'm worried that this has drastically decreased its power output potential, but has made it much more compliant.
Oh.
Isn't that right, Nexivus? You are correct, Yarrick.
Are you okay, next of us?
Power output operating at 100%.
Sounds like
Is
it's
that-
okay.
Is that how he used to speak to you?
Pretty much. I couldn't make head or tail of it most of the time.
Okay.
I do worry that we're not going to learn a lot about its parameters and its capabilities without exposing it to more stimuli.
What are you getting at, Yarrick?
Well, the natural progression from a lab experiment is a field experiment, a phase of testing.
Here we go.
Did you have something in mind? Is it something we can help with?
Well, it seems as though the impulse core's presence here has caused me to reflect on the extent of my insurance premium. The increased risk presented by its presence here is almost certainly going to result in sustained conflict.
Yeah, I keep telling you that I think that Lorcan is out for you and out for this.
Yes, I would quite like him assassinated. However, I realise that might be politically difficult an ambition to achieve.
Yeah, and the morals of it. Yeah.
He looks at you, completely blank, just carries on tinkering. Would you be able to assist with my field experiment?
Will it hurt next of us?
I don't believe Nexivus has the capacity to feel pain. You are correct. Merely betray, and it's like statics out for a second.
Oh.
Yarrick like bashes it and the lights flicker. He goes, "You are correct."
It definitely felt anger yesterday, that's for sure. I mean, I was gonna suggest, if you want Lorcan off your back, then us taking that off your hands is probably a smart move.
I agree. Please approach.
Goes for a little walk.
Yarrick inspects your prosthesis. I'm going to make him make a medicine check. I'm doing it behind the screen, though. Looks like the incision is healing quite well. He runs his digits over a particular bit of plating in your arm, kind of like that comes down the shoulder. When he does so, the shoulder lifts up like a shoulder pad, and you basically have a hole where the top of your upper arm would be. Yarrick then produces the impulse core with Nexus's conscious maintained within. Otuo, I must stress that this field experiment, the parameters are unknowable at this juncture. I do wish to learn as much as I can from this unusual elven technology. But I cannot leave Bran. And I do not have the means to secure the future of the gearbox or any transportation. If you were to take on this experiment, I merely ask that you try and find out as much about this elven technology as possible. Learn what you can from Nexus and report back to me one day.
Oh, I'll certainly try.
If Lorcan Stucker should attempt to remove the impulse core from your arm, I've ensured that it will be very, very painful. And he puts it into your shoulder, and your arm then glows with like electronic veins and circuitry across the kind of dark grey metal arm, just with an orange pulse for a second. And automatically your arm feels lighter and more comfortable, given that it has a new power source within it. You have an arm blade attached, which kind of flexes out kind of naturally as you flex your hand. How much damage does the arm blade do? Does it tell you?
Action arm blade is because it's only a dagger, it's a D4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Like to roll
That's
it?
fine. No. I was just asking.
Okay.
As the orange lights pulse across your arm, you can now add a docent to your inventory and attune to it automatically.
How am I spelling docent?
Docent.
Yes, I don't know what one of those is.
It's a pretty cool magic item. If you wish to share the details of it, Craig, you may, but you don't have to.
Oh god, there's a whole lot of reading that.
Or you can just paste a link if other people want to read, but you don't have to. Like, you can keep it all secret if you want.
There's a few bits that says about DM roles and bits, but I'll see if I can share it. Oh, I can't find an easy way to do it on there. Let's see if I can do it on it. Funnily, it's not on the Roll20 version.
No. It's a Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron Magic Item specific. Are you trying to share it?
Yeah, I can't find an easy way to share it, to be honest.
There's the link.
Oh, that doesn't work for me. Maybe I need to sign in.
Yes, you do. Want me to read it out?
Yeah.
A docent is a small metal sphere around 2 inches across, studded with dragon shards. Ignore that bit. To attune to a docent, you must embed the item somewhere on your body, such as your chest or eye socket. In this case, it's your shoulder. It is a sentient item of any alignment. I know the alignment. With an intelligence of 16, a wisdom of 14, and a charisma of 14, it perceives the world through your senses and communicates telepathically with you and can speak, read, and understand any language it knows. It's got a life support ability. Whenever you end your turn on 0 hit points, a docent can make a medicine check with a +6 bonus, and if it succeeds, it stabilizes you. It also has, it knows its own languages. I know which languages it knows. It also has its own skills in Arcana, History, Investigation, and Nature, which it can do through your senses. It also knows, it knows, I'm going to say it knows both of those spells, Detect Evil and Good, and Detect Magic.
So the skills bit is in awe as well. Arcana, History, Investigation, Nature says awe for that. Doesn't have to be all of them.
Oh, no, it's all of them.
Okay.
What? A +7 bonus to one of the following skills. Oh my god. All of the following skills. That's crazy.
Yep.
Is there some way you want me to communicate any information? Yeah, right. Or just next time we're on the planet.
I have inputted a communication relay within the Impulse Core. I will be able to access some of the information you glean remotely. However, this is not an indefinite ability granted by the Impulse Core. I will have to download information in full if we are to fully complete the experiment. I can do this whether the docent is attached to you or not. Or whether the Impulse Core is attached to you or not.
Definitely feels a lot better in this arm.
Thank you for complying with the terms of my experiment. And I apologize for the loss of your previous arm. He looks over and there's like a biohazard bag that's like full of guts and viscera that have been cleared up from the shop front, including your arm. He just, after thanking you, just goes back to his work.
Did you say you owed us something, Yorick? No, for saving the workshop.
I'm able to assist in retrofitting any technology here to your ship if that's what you require.
I mean, that is what we agreed for just looking at the tool in my arm. But I was wondering, is there any chance of some sort of facility on board our ship for making our own weapons and armors and some sort of workshop?
That is certainly a possibility. I assume, is this how you want your bastion to look?
It was a fort.
Yeah. Yeah, if he had access to the Witterquick, then he could even input a communications relay. I assume probably someone like Thrixie could work in it.
That was also a thought with it.
Unless you want to steal the child. But that might be tricky.
Does he come with Henry?
No, he does not. So, yeah, your bastion facility at level 5 could be a workshop. You then get the craft ability. So, yeah, using your workshop, you can craft gear.
It was just a thought, guys, so don't let me.
Well, each of you get one.
Okay.
You all get one. So it's just if you want to outfit the Witterquick with bastions, like it would be a pretty, it'd be pretty packed. There wouldn't be much room for much else on the Witterquick. But as I said, I don't want to punish you for changing ships. So if you change your ship, we can always import your bastion onto the new ship, assuming that the Witterquick doesn't crash and burn. You know what I mean? There has to be some risk.
Don't get any ideas.
Would I? Did anyone give any other thoughts to what they might want their bastion to look like?
I'm not sure, but is it something that we can sort of hold on to for the moment?
Yeah.
See how things develop?
Yeah, if you want. What are you going to say there, Gav?
I have an idea, but I don't think it's going to be as useful as Craig's. I would quite like a menagerie. And I think we've started that with Omnom.
A menagerie, you might see, is only unlockable at level 13.
Oh, it is, yes. I see that now.
Mm.
Okay, then I will carry on looking.
You've got workshop, storehouse, smithy, sanctuary, library, garden, barrack, armory, and arcane study. Now, if you don't think, well, my character doesn't really suit any of these yet, we can always build one in later, depending on how your character develops. Or you can pick up a bastion that's a different one later on. The workshop makes sense to me, given that you're at the gearbox and you have a NPC person to work in it in Thrixie. Equally, I don't know. What about you, Kirsty? There's a few things that I think might work for you.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it much. I guess looking at it, like the obvious thing that jumps out is a library, but I think I might think it's too obvious right now.
Is it too obvious? What do you mean?
Don't know. It's just like she spent all of her life in a library.
Would a library just be something that accumulates around her? She's already got a book, at least, I think.
I guess so, yeah.
But, you could have an arcane study or a sanctuary or...
Yeah, I just haven't read them all. Sorry.
It's all right. Do think about it. Bryn? Had any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, looking at, I guess maybe the barrack would be the more appropriate one.
Yeah.
So trying to read how it works.
You basically get, if you give the recruitment order from the barrack, you get to recruit like 4 people to help you, which is pretty good.
Yeah, is that sort of we can use for the crew and reloading and all that sort of stuff with crew members?
You could definitely use them to enhance your turns during combat above the Wit-a-Quick, but they would also defend the Wit-a-Quick if it was ever in trouble. But yeah, we can, they would become characters in and of themselves. Obviously, you can see enlarging the barracks would cost you 2,000 gold pieces. There are different sizes, but it says a vast barrack can accommodate up to 25 bastion defenders. So it's a way to recruit a little army, basically. The Wit-a-Quick wouldn't be able to be enlarged that much, but a bigger ship would.
Yeah, I think maybe that would be Corinne's thing. It perhaps narratively hasn't sort of taken off yet, but mechanically maybe we'll put that in.
Yeah. You might need to think
we sort of have the Broken Blades as kind of like a bit of an ad hoc mercenary hirelings, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like a start there.
Yeah. You've already got DD, Latch, Talon. Yeah. You could, you're thinking about getting them home, but you could always ask them to join you, and they could potentially be, part of the barracks. We'd see how that went narratively, because they do have reasons that they want to get home. Okay. There is that Yarrick will need access to the Wit-a-Quick in order to kind of help build the workshop. And he did promise you a plasma weapon. So he will be able to replace one of your ballistae with a plasma cannon.
I asked Dan, is the more that we do to the Wit-a-Quick and the more that we upgrade it, is there going to be any speed penalties or anything along those lines? Because I think that's its main thing, is that it's quick.
It is quick. I think, like I say, there's probably a maximum amount that, especially with the barracks, that you could do, and certainly a maximum haulage. The more you do with it, the less room there's going to be on it. yeah, if you effectively then want to expand it and like develop it, it would have a speed penalty. But I would tell you whether you've like reached that maximum threshold where you start to affect its stats, or whether you could achieve better economy by finding a new ship, for example.
Cool. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! We've gone way past the proposed break time, and I've not had any tea. So I'll catch you all in 20 minutes, if that's all right.
Cool.
See you later. Hello, welcome back. Well, after Otua got reacquainted with his patron, we are still in the workshop. Yarrick has promised to fit the Witterquick with a workshop and a plasma cannon in place of one of your ballistas. Is there anything else you would like to do before, well, moving on, making your way wherever you want to go? Anything else you'd like to talk to him about or share with each other?
I would ask Yarrick. We suspect that there may be more of these Nexavae. Someone that we're tailing that we hope we can ask you about might be seeking more leads on these Nexavae beneath various planets. Having studied the Impulse Core and the Nexavae within it, do you have any idea or inkling on how one would go about seeking out or detecting another Nexavus?
I was recently acquainted with an elf who embarked on a similar line of questioning. Since you have assisted me, I'm able to share some of the details of what we discussed. However, I still have concerns about my safety. Perhaps if you could deal with the people trying to infiltrate this workshop, then I could be more confident in sharing that information more freely.
Oh.
For the time
I were
being,
to-
is there any way you can lay low besides the workshop?
The workshop is the culmination of my expertise and practice, not to mention my livelihood. To me, it's irreplaceable. If I were to share the information with you and you were to be apprehended by Lorcan and Stucker, then there's a chance that that information could not only put me in further danger, but also trace back to them.
So we go deal with Wilkenstucker and then come back and you'll tell us more about the elf who is here.
That course of action results in the lowest chance of failure.
Oh.
Fair enough.
What about the bandit that you've got locked up?
I was going to wait until you left before exterminating them. However, if you think they would provide you with leverage or an advantage, then feel free to do what you will with them.
Do you think we could use her?
Let's find out what she has to say for herself at the very least.
Yarrick gestures towards the door on his left, and it opens. You can see in the shadows a figure tied to a desk. The desk is in a room that you can see is like a more amateurish study. More kind of smaller scale and childlike inventions seem to scatter this workshop, as well as various drafts of amateurist scrolls and charts. Tied to one of the desks is female human. She's quite tall and broad-shouldered. You recognise her from being able to fire one of the plasma cannons yesterday at Ina. Her hair is shaved on one side and braided tight on the other. She is tied to a chair, but her reinforced coat is draped over her shoulders in an attempt to keep her warm. It's patchy and oil-stained. She's got heavy boots, maglock knee pads. This could be a worker. She has her back to the door, so she hears the door open, but she can't see in front. Oh, she can't see behind her. Sorry, she's facing forward.
I'll go inside. Is it unlocked? We can still go in.
Yeah. The door opened as you Yarrick gestured to it. You walk around the front of her.
Yeah.
She stops struggling and sits up as best she can, and she's gagged.
I will go to take the gag off, and I'll say, well, if ever there was someone with few options.
As you take the gag off, she spits at your feet.
Mm-hmm.
If my last option was to be a mage and lover, I wouldn't take it.
Fair enough. Can't say I would either.
Oh, but you'd rather cozy up to a fucking robot than help out your fellow workers? I don't see no fucking trillionaires walking around here. That's who funds this guy.
Last I checked, we were the ones dismantling that huge mech that was going to take all your jobs away from you. You didn't do much other than burn a big damn hole in the wall and get all your friends killed.
You destroyed a robot? What?
We came here on Stucker's demand. I imagine we have that in common.
He didn't tell me he sent another crew.
It'd be more than just us, just you. He's surprised if he didn't send half the damn planet after Yarrick.
All right. So suppose you got the impulse core and you're going to go take it for a big payday, and what? You think me and my crew are just going to lie down and let you guys get away with our fucking score?
Like I said, slim options. He just unhooks his sword. Next step for you, according to the Magian, is body bag.
Well, I'd expect no less from a fucking robot. Do you know why I want that core? I deserve that core.
This core, I nod over to Otua.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Major Image
Okay.
and have it appear in my hand.
Sure. I mean, that's a lot of spell for a tiny illusion, but yeah.
Just to see how it plays out as a. If I can fool this person, if I don't fool this person, the plan for fooling someone else, probably smarter, is not really going to work.
Okay. So they're going to look at it and they're going to take the study action. It's going to be at disadvantage because they're tied to a chair. But what is your spell save DC?
16.
Wait with me 1 second. And it is an intelligence check. Come on. All right, it doesn't have any skills, so it's just a straight. They give it a cursory look over this glowing sphere in your palm. Yeah, one just like that. And she says, the last prototype that this guy was able to get out there onto the market was put into a grav drive stabilizer unit down in the underworks. 6 of my buddies died because that construct unit malfunctioned. Impulse cores are not safe, they're unreliable, they're experimental, and they put lives at risk.
That's why we got sent to get this and get rid of it.
You better fucking get rid of it. I don't care what happens to me, but if that thing gets back out on the market, then more and more workers are going to be either dead or out of a job. Lorcan has got his eye on the ball. He's the only one looking out for us. These fucking cold iron corporate whores don't care who lives and dies. They just want profit. And they'll pay people like that Magian to extract profit at all costs. I didn't even do it for the score. I did it for the right reasons. And well done. Your fucking big gooey friend just chopped up a couple of my buddies on the way.
Oto's going to look to Kroon because obviously he wasn't there and part of the fight, so he's a bit unaware of what happened.
Kroon's just like nodding. Like,
she looks around. Well, you guys just a bunch of small-time thieves, or what?
yeah, maybe. We need to deal with Stucker. If we leave things how they are now with this conflict in place between he and Yarrick, then it'll result in violence sooner or later. Whether that's 3 prototypes down the line or more bandits barging in through the door of this workshop. I'm just trying to figure out what I can get out of you that keeps you reason enough to keep you alive.
Well, if you're going to convince Stucker that this robot ain't going to churn out any more dangerous prototypes, you're going to need someone to convince him. Well, why the hell would I do that for you?
Self-preservation. Or maybe you'll die for your cause instead. It's of little recourse to me, to be perfectly honest. You could have died on the way in, same as your buddies. But here you are. Figure we might find some sort of use for you.
Do you want to make an intimidation or persuasion check?
I think probably the nature of that is more intimidating. $15.
You sense that their initial resolve is somewhat weakened. And despite them talking a good game about union rights and workers' rights and putting their lives at risk for the benefit of other people, that this person clearly has attachments that they're not willing to so easily sever. And they quiver. Okay, just don't leave me at the hands of that robot. If I help you smooth things over, maybe we can convince Lorcan that we can all go our separate ways. Just don't let that big gooey freak anywhere near me.
Fair enough. I'll wander back outside to think. And if Ina's there, not sure how much use we can get out of that one. She's interested in keeping herself alive if she can help us convince Lorcan, but I don't know, she's not exactly the strongest character witness. Welcome to have a go if you want.
Lorcan doesn't give a fuck about her. She's just a goon. She's a henchman. He's got tons of people in his employ. If we died on the way in, would you think he'd care about us?
No, very little. I'm sure she's expendable, but I mean, since she's here and it's of little cost to us to keep her alive and tag her along if she can help. I just don't know exactly how.
Should we just leave her to Yarrick?
To get her head torn off? I'd rather not start another day like that.
You just let her go? Tell her to run as far as she can?
If she can help us convince Lorcan and makes her way on with whatever's left of whatever bandit troop she'll cause trouble with. It's no skin off my back.
If you think she seems up for it, I'm happy for you to try. Her to try, us to try.
You're babysitting though, Krun. And I'll start dinging my axe just on something metal at the side. Just loud enough that I know she can hear it. Like, like in Glorious Bastards with their baseball bat in a tunnel. Like I'm doing that type of thing.
I'll give you advantage on an intimidation check.
I'll cast guidance.
I don't have great intimidation. Oh.
Hey, there you go.
Natural 20.
Yeah. 22 total.
You see, with the door still open, she's like rocking the chair to try and get out. She's terrified.
Instead of the bear Jew, I'm the bear goo.
Oh no.
Oh no, disadvantage on all of the rest of the checks today.
2d6 psychic damage. Yeah, okay, let's take over this.
Okay.
I'll go and handcuff her. I guess I've got all the consec security protocol of, yeah.
Yeah, have you got manacles?
Actually, I don't, but maybe there's...
Yarrick could give you some. You could add some manacles to your inventory.
Yeah, well, put them straight on her anyway.
As you untie her and kind of put her in these manacles. Okay, so what do I call you?
Boss. Come on, let's go.
Yes.
Yeah. You take this figure with her light coat over her. Are you leaving?
I think, yeah, I'll just have her manacled up for a moment. Sit tight. Keep her in the chair there. And we'll just go outside the door. All right, just so we're all on the same page. Next stop, Lock and Stucker. And what's the approach?
We tell him to stand down. We've sorted his problem. I mean, he's always going to have a problem with the Megan being here, but the thing that he tasked us to do is resolved. It's done. There is no impulse core.
So we convince him that the impulse core is taken care of and that Yarrick is amenable to peace treaty. That he's displayed willingness to stand down in his creating of these prototypes of interfering in the cold iron mine.
I mean, if you can convince him, I think you do a better job than me.
Is that enough for us to appease Yarrick?
I mean, we've got the car, and we've destroyed the mech. That's more than what you asked for.
But doesn't Yarrick want Lorcan gone?
I think they both want each other gone.
I guess. What I mean is, Yarrick has important information for us that he's suggesting he won't give to us unless Lorcan is gone. I'm not sure us coming back to Yarrick and saying, oh, he says he won't bother you anymore, is going to do the trick.
Well, he seemed
Do you know
understanding that assassination is out of reasonable course of action. Problem is, if we do convince Lorcan, what evidence can we bring back to Yarrick that he'll stand down for at least the time being?
If we kill one of the heads of one of the unions, we will be hounded forever. Like, we'll never be able to come back and see Yorick anyway. There needs to be some sort of peace, surely.
And we're already wanted on about 6 planets.
And the rest. 6 that we know of.
Well, maybe they each need to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Perhaps the only way that they'll come to some sort of a agreement or an understanding of one another is if they meet.
Ah.
A face-to-face would work, yeah.
At least that way we'd get an answer one way or the other out of both of them.
Sure.
All right. So I'll open the door and I'll take the prisoner again. We're going to attempt to appease Lorcan Stucker and convince him to attend a peace treaty agreement with this here Yarrick. And we're hoping that the two of them will meet and they'll give us an answer one way or the other, whether they'll still be at each other's throats or whether they're satisfied enough for the time being that our meddling has been enough to put off this conflict for the time being. So, if you can convince Lorcan along with us, act as a witness, back up that we've destroyed the machinery here and that you've seen that we're in possession of the impulse core, then you can keep your head. And if not, then you'll be coming back here and you'll be seeing how the meeting goes yourself in person.
Wait. I need to know something. You are going to combine a Magian construct and a union boss, two opposite ends of the worker spectrum, and you're going to get them to shake hands?
Oh, we're going to try.
I need to know if it all goes south, which I think it will, and shooting starts. Who are you aiming at?
Well, your hands will be tied behind your back. I'll be putting whoever's aiming at me between you.
You guys are some crazy motherfuckers. But I respect it. Peace is hard work, especially when there's money to be made. If I were you, I'd convince that Magian to take a peace offering. This guy is probably squirreling away hundreds of platinum pieces he can't spend because he don't eat and he ain't got no girlfriend, as far as I can see.
Yeah, you might be right about all that. Frankly, I didn't intend to get involved in all of this business in the first place, but we have a little something to gain if this goes the right way. If you can help us get it, then you can keep your head.
I mean, I don't have 2 cents to rub together. But sure, this is your fucking crazy idea.
That's the spirit.
Oh no. I've made my Discord disappear.
Oh no.
Oh no. Literally, what's going on? I've lost everything. Made everything disappear. It's because I've got a second monitor that is not currently. Oh goodness! Oh no! I've pressed the wrong things.
That's all right. Have a minute to find.
Yeah. Would you mind if we just took a short break?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
Just
fine.
like 2 minutes. Okay. So I think what we're going to do, rather than get too bogged down in logistics, just an overview of the plan is to take your captive to Lorcan, broker some kind of peace treaty between them so that you can maintain the gearbox in working order and satisfy the Union that the Impulse Core and the robots that might benefit from it are not going to be a threat to the workforce, as you have either acquired them or destroyed them. Yeah?
Yes.
More or less.
We're going to go back to like theatre of the mind, if you don't mind, because I do have a map that could be used for a confrontation, but it might not come to that. So I'll just put us on the main world map, just as a placeholder, if you don't mind. And you're taking your captive. Are you leaving him at the gearbox for now, or are you taking them with you?
We'll take her, yeah.
Okay. Anybody, before you leave the gearbox, any last minute things you want to do or say or make sure of before we leave?
Got rest.
No. You can't go throwing around your major image spell with no consequences. I've DM'd warlocks before. Right. Anything else? All right. I'm going to get you all just to make a charisma check. See who's made the best impression on Bram. You tell me what your result is.
6.
10.
18.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ina, as you are leaving through the shop front, Bram kind of comes up to you and kind of tugs on your vestments. I want you to roll, if you will, a d10.
Okay. A 2.
Okay. He comes up to you and tugging on your vestment says, hey lady.
Yes.
Thank you for helping my master out. Sometimes scary people who come to the shop, they can cause a lot of trouble and really bothers the master. And sometimes Henry's not enough to keep them away, but you guys did. I like making things, so you can have this if you want.
Oh. You're welcome. It's really fine.
He has given you, it's not a real magic item, but now you've rolled it, I will make it real, but you can make a note of it if you want.
Mm-hmm.
He's given you a diagnostic prism, which is a palm-sized crystal lens.
Okay.
It has a kind of washed orange hue, implying that maybe the lens that is now obsolete, the crystal that was obsolete from Otua's fused arm, has been retrofitted into this diagnostic prism.
Okay.
When you use an action to hold it up and look through it, and you are looking at a construct, it will tell you the construct's current HP, active conditions, and whether it's hostile or not.
Ooh.
That's
Do you have this written down anywhere?
No, that's why I'm telling you.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just can't write fast enough.
It's a diagnostic prism, palm-sized crystal lens. When held up to a construct, it reveals its current HP, active conditions, whether it's hostile. I do have it written down, like...
Active conditions and whether it's hostile or not.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. Okay. And does it require attunement? Cool.
It does not.
That's. Did you make this?
I haven't put it on D&D Beyond yet, but yeah.
Oh, that was me talking to Bram.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bram, did you make this?
Yeah. I'm always looking to make something useful.
You're very talented.
Trixie looks envious and curious at the same time as you are leaving.
Yeah.
Hey, good job, kid. She pats him on the back. Bram, being about 9 or 10 years old, is taller than Trixie. But yeah, as you leave the shop, we will head back towards the Witterquick, which is a short monorail ride away. So yeah, if you deduct the necessary funds, was it a gold piece? Yeah, deduct a gold piece if you will, and you can get back to the Undercity docks. When you return, you see the same attendee. I believe he was also a gnome or a halfling. I forget. But yeah, he's kind of looks as you step off, and he kind of steps into position. He was the one who ensured that he would look after the Witterquick. And as he notices you, he's kind of tries to wave to get your attention before you walk past. Hold on. Do you guys remember who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've lost his name. He had a silly name. And it's gone. I have it in my notes.
Wiggins Waddletop.
That's right. How could I forget Wiggins? There we go.
He's a gnome.
Yeah, gnome, Wiggins Waddletop. So Wiggins waves you over. He looks quite insistent.
Yeah. Yes. Hi, Wiggins.
Oh, hi. Hello. I'm happy to report that the Witterquick is intact as promised. However, it was reprimanded for inspection by a senior union figure.
Right. What does that entail?
That means that an entire inventory of your vessel was taken for posterity, and the relative taxes and charges were calculated. I believe a union representative is still aboard the ship. I'm sure it's all above board.
Is the one on board the ship the person who's instructed for this inspection?
I am not at liberty to disclose that information.
And he kind of gives you a big grin.
But it was him, wasn't it?
He opens his palm.
And so we'll look around at anyone else who has cash.
We don't need to pay him every time we ask. We can probably get on board and find this answer.
Thanks for your help as always, Wiggins.
He furrows his brow as you walk past.
Can I give him a hand slap with my robot arm as we?
Sure. Sure. He like shakes his hand after you, slap down his cheeky open palm, and you make your way towards the Witterquick.
Yeah.
As you arrive, you see clear evidence of an altercation. You can see Talon and Dee Dee with at least one black eye and a few missing teeth between them, tied up. On the top deck. You can also see bite marks, little chompy bite marks.
Yeah.
All around the deck, and one human in kind of overalls and heavy boots, lying semi-prone on the ground, clutching at a deep bite mark on their calf. You can see another kind of industrially dressed person holding a net that seems to be electrified in some way with Omnom inside.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I want to be that guy.
And then in pride of place, next to a ballista that is fully loaded, is the imposing figure of Lorcan Stucker, which I think you've all got in your journal, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well. If it isn't my newest members.
I mean, not for long. If this is going to how you're going to treat them, can we get our friends untied and released, please?
They refuse to comply with a polite request. I am fully authorized by the bylaws of Mester Valiok to inspect any ship at the docks for contraband. Part of my service to the establishment as a union boss. And it was hitherto agreed with my friend, and he points to Zam. I was given permission to wait aboard the Witterquick once that my job had been carried out. These two got in the way. Not to mention this exotic animal which you have not declared.
I'm going to walk straight up to him, face to face.
As you get closer, he turns the ballista like with one hand. This guy is an imposing figure. He stands at about 6'8". He is cybernetically enhanced, and as you walk towards him, with one hand he pushes the loaded ballista. He's like, That's quite far enough.
I said you could wait aboard the Witterquick. You've gone too far.
I appreciate that this may have been an unexpected dalliance beyond the boundaries of your acceptability. However, this is Mr. Valiok. This is my city. At this point, I would like Ina to make an Arcana check.
Okay. Right, fine. I'm going to roll it and then I'm going to decide whether I want to use my theurgic insight. I'm allowed to decide after I roll the dice, but I have to do it before you tell me whether it's a success or a fail. Is that okay?
Yep.
Cool. Oh, I got an 11. So yes, I would need to roll. I use like 1d6 and I just add that to whatever I roll.
Okay.
Oh, so I got 17.
With a 17, stepping back aboard the Witterquick, your connection to Tharivold is strengthened. You get a flash in your memory of you hear an altercation, hustle and bustle, fairly short-lived and not that long ago, but it's all above deck. It seems as though somebody tried the door into Tharivold's room, but did not manage to gain entry.
Okay.
You can feel Tharivold's consciousness spreading over the whole ship.
Cool.
Lorcan remains with the ballista pointed straight at Zam. So, have you completed the job? And who's this? They point at the female prisoner that you have with you.
Yes, I kind of shove her forward. This is one of your contractees. Tried to kill us last night, along with 5 of her friends.
Sir, I only try to do what you ask. I tried to get the core. Turns out this lot got to it first. He kind of looks towards Kryn, expecting some kind of explanation.
She's right. We took the core from Yarick and we destroyed his mech that was threatening to take jobs down in the cold iron mine. We upheld our part of the deal while you neglected to mention that you'd hired others to muscle their way in and take us out.
A lot of darts at a board, one of them's bound to hit. Well done. But what assurances do I have that this one ain't lying through her teeth and you lot aren't trying to pull the wool over my eyes?
See for
Show me
yourself.
the core.
Yeah, I gesture over towards Otua.
I will again cast Major Image, which as a illusion spell means I don't have to show any visual or somatic components, and then produce it from my pocket.
Okay. Stucker gestures you closer so he can inspect it.
Yeah, I'll go closer, but I'm not going to get too close. Obviously, he's got a weapon pointed at Zam, so
Okay. He's gonna.
I could take a blister shot, mate. Don't worry about it.
Remind me what your spell save DC is.
16.
Okay. He gets a +3. That is an exceptional technological specimen. So I take it you've eradicated the Magian.
No, that wasn't the contract.
Well, he wouldn't have let you take it willingly.
Doesn't mean we had to kill him.
Okay. Hand it over.
That wasn't the contract either.
I'm changing the contract.
Right, okay. What are your proposal terms?
My proposed terms are give me the core. Or else.
Okay, and my terms are no.
Yeah.
Just on my shoulders, you start to see a little bit of bubbling. Just a little bit.
The core, Lorcan, was unstable. Yarrick tried to use it to power up the mech, and it went out of control. We saved him. That's why we didn't need to dispose of him. And Yarrick assured us that he just wants a stop to the violence. He didn't make this thing to put you out of jobs or to endanger lives. He's interested in scientific progress. The way he sees it, his progress won't go much further if he has bandits knocking on his door every night, trying to take over his workshop.
What assurances do I have that he's not just going to make another one?
Well, that involves you having a conversation with him, which is our next step. You know, we considered coming here and just taking you out. Quite frankly, seeing how this has all gone down, I wish we'd committed to that option. But it was actually Yarrick that convinced us that he wants no further violence or bloodshed. He's asked if you'll consider a peace treaty, or at the very least a conversation.
I think that is a deception check.
Yep. Lying through my teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I cast guidance?
Yeah, I'll give it you.
Good guidance. So 19.
19. I'm going to make it an opposed roll to his insight, which he also gets a +3 for. I'm going to roll this in public.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a DC 19 with a +3 on this. 18.
Ooh, nice.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Core's useless to me unless he stops producing them. He could just give one to the competition. Violence is not how we accomplish things on Master Baliok. Despite your friend's approach to ship security. I'll meet. You can come to my headquarters. I'll meet you there tomorrow. And he, one of his goons, gives you Lorcan Stucker's card, or did he give you his card already?
Yeah.
I think he gave you his card.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, upon closer inspection, he points out the address of his headquarters, which becomes visible on the card. Bear with me. It is a it's in the Union Core, which is commonly referred to on Mr. Valiok as the Anvil Blocks. The Anvil Blocks is where really the middle class live. There's still lots of industry there, but it's kind of better paying jobs. There's much more. There's a whole other layer of like service industry, civil service, administration, and he points out where the Gravitic Stabilization Guild headquarters is. And yeah, he says he will meet you there first thing tomorrow.
Oh, hold on. We need someone more neutral than this.
Agreed.
Yarrick isn't going to be confident walking into your headquarters any more than you'd be confident walking in alone to his workshop. We're the ones that are brokering this peace treaty. I suggest that we use the Witterquick.
Ooh. Make a persuasion check.
28.
28.
Yeah. Have that.
Fine. Have it your way. I'll stay here. You can go get the Major whenever you like.
We don't have any above the table. We don't have any means of long range messaging or sending or anything, do we?
Know what
No.
we do?
Just wondering if we could have like the Broken Blades monitor the situation on the ship, you know, so we don't want to go away and then come back and Lorcan's like got 10 of his mates. You see what I mean?
We need to take the Witterquick to the gearbox for upgrades anyway. We'll just fly him over there.
Yeah. Or I was thinking we could do like a meet in orbit, so that like we know no one else can come on. You know what I mean? Like we can escort Yarrick on, and we'll know that no one else can get on apart from Lorcan. But that's above the table. I didn't know if that was like conceivable or not in this. We probably incur some kind of crazy tax or fee on Mr. Valiok for like undocking and then docking again.
Not if we've got the head of a guild with us. We'll be fine.
What do you want to do? Take it to the gearbox? Take it to orbit?
Take it above the gearbox?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What would it involve taking it there? How does that work? What does that look like? We just fly a ship over town and like land on the roof?
You would need to pay a usually like a permit to get your ship like beyond the docking. But given that you do have a union boss, I'll leave it down to a check whether you can get it through on Lorcan say so. If you want.
So maybe Lorcan gets us over there, and then we can assure him that it's Yarrick and Yarrick alone that enters the ship. Can we try that?
If you suggest taking the Witterquick to the gearbox, let's It's like, how do I know you're not just flying me into a trap?
Not scared, are you, Lorcan?
I didn't get to be a union boss through walking down blind alleys with my eyes closed.
Okay. Well, if you know the big scary Magian is going to be there, we'll let him aboard the Way Quick as well. How about that? Just mano a mano.
If you see anybody else get aboard, then you can jump ship. You can fire that ballista at me or Zam. However you like.
With your previous persuasion check, he concedes. And he says, he kind of basically holds on to the ballista. Fine, have it your way. And he gestures down to Wiggins and the rest of the administration as if he does this a lot. And the Whittaquick becomes untethered. And if you fly it deeper into the Storm Breach, the Undercity, we'll just see whether that incurs a charge or not.
Yeah, I obviously grab the helm and start doing the flying.
It does. He just rolled a natural 20 on his charisma check, so he's fine. You managed to get through. So yeah, okay. You guys fly back to the gearbox, which I guess I'll take us back to.
On the way there, the guy that has Omnom in the net, I'm just going to go and take it off him.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm going to free up.
He doesn't resist.
Yeah, I'll just take it.
Okay. So there's no way on the map that I can really dock the Whittaquick, but we can say that the Whittaquick like hovers just above the gearbox, if you like. I think, Otua, you will need to stay on board the ship.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens now. But the plan was to go and get Yarrick?
Yeah.
If Yarrick can come out to like a balcony, or we can put the tail end of the Whittaquick down so he can get on board. Or
we could say there's a big skylight in the workshop.
Yeah, so we'd get it to a point where they can talk balcony to balcony, I guess.
Oh, no idea.
Okay. Well, someone's going to have to go down and explain what's happening.
Yeah, I'll go down. I'll speak to Yarrick.
Okay, just while that happens, you see Lorcan's like staying very much front and center, attached to the ballista. His goons, if you like, are keeping an eye on DD and Talon, while Zam kind of Zam, just do an animal handling check for me, if you will.
Got +4 in it. 17.
Yeah. Omnom just seems to kind of relax in your embrace and starts wagging his little pinecone tail.
Yeah. I give him a little pat and a scratch.
Yeah, he seems receptive to your company. Sorry, it was Kryn was going down?
Yeah.
Okay. What's Ina doing? In fact, sorry, Ina, make me another Arcana check. I'll give you advantage this time because last one was successful.
$24.
With a 24, you can now you've been aboard the Whittaquick for a little while, you can feel Tharivold's presence. and he does have the facility to cast message. And he does it
Ooh.
into your mind.
Yep.
We're moving. So much noise, conflict, violence. What's happening?
Can I go to him?
Yeah.
I go to him.
Lorcan looks over. Hey, where do you think you're going? Yeah, what do you say?
My own business.
You want to make an intimidation check or a
Women's
persuasion check?
things.
Women's things. I don't think I really want to make you check to see whether that works. He just he scoffs as you go down below decks and you reach Tharabol's locked compartment.
I'll do a very gentle knock on the door.
It unlocks.
It's me, it's Ina.
And the door flings open, and you can see Tharabold on his knees with his silver hair draped across the front in the middle of the floor, breathing quite heavily as if he seems a little bit stressed.
I'll go and kneel next to him and put a hand on his back.
As you touch him,
Yeah.
your senses extend across the whole ship. And it becomes an extension of you.
Whoa. Tharabold, is this what you feel all the time?
Doesn't answer. He just breathes heavily. You can feel him he feels a bit clammy and warm.
I'll give him some water, like something to drink.
Do you have rations?
Yes.
Remove one.
Fine. Okay.
He takes a sip from your water skin and breathes a bit more shallow. Thank you, my echo.
How do you feel?
Like conflict beneath us. And yet as he furrows his brow, you can see like a beam that goes across the ceiling of his chamber just kind of bend as his brow does.
Whoa. We're trying to resolve something as peacefully as we can. I didn't mean for it to impact you, though.
He mumbles to himself incoherently. I want to go home.
To Erindor. Does he nod or give anything away?
You can make an insight check.
Yeah. Can I guide myself?
Sure.
This feels important. Oh. But actually, oh no, I got an 18. Never mind, I got 24. No, 25.
25. significant. How are you guys rolling such ridiculous checks at level 5?
Talented.
Just talented, yeah. As are you still touching him or not?
Yeah.
When you say to Erendor, you see a flash. You see a drop pod land on the surface of a planet. But then as soon as it hits with a big cloud of smoke, it reverses again and then goes back up into the sky. You're seeing time in reverse right now. The drop pod goes out of orbit and goes to the Orifane. It's not a ship that you recognize, but you do see the name on the side of it.
How are you spelling that, please?
Orifane. Ourofane.
So I'm seeing that in reverse. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The image fades as quickly as it arrived.
Did I see anything of Erendor there?
It's difficult to tell. It's a flash, an image that you're not ever seen before.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we cut to Kryn. Zam, what are you doing? And are you still just aboard the quick? You're with Omna.
Yeah, I think if Kryn's gone down and to be, if we're mediating and Kryn's gone down to be on that side, then I'd stand with Stucker as much as I want to chuck him off the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, do you know what I mean? Like an equality on both sides.
Yeah. So it's a short rappel down from the Witterquick onto the balcony outside the skylight on top of the gearbox.
Can I go inside and fetch Yarrick so I can speak to him briefly?
Yeah. You see Yarrick is more or less exactly where you left him.
Yeah, I walk up to him. All right, Yarrick, we have one Lorcan Stucker aboard our Witterquick just above the workshop, ready for your meeting. Now, you should know that I convinced him that it was you that insisted on non-violence, and that we were quite game to take Stucker out. You insisted on keeping him alive and brokering this peace treaty. Also told him that the Impulse Core went out of control. It powered the mech, and we destroyed it, saving you, which is how we managed to bring about this deal and your favors owed to us. So with those particulars, bluffs as they may be, out of the way, the rest is up to you to broker this deal.
This is quite a considerable layer of deception. But I appreciate the lengths that you've gone to ensure the safety of the gearbox. I do, before we go through with this negotiation, I do want to ensure that you wouldn't prefer to blow up Lorcan Stucker. And he looks behind him, there's like an elaborate bomb that he's built just for that very purpose.
I'd put my hand on his shoulder. If you could have experienced the last couple of weeks with us, Yarrick, that'd be the last thing on your mind. We've had plenty of all of that, and we'd really just love a peaceful solution to this one.
Very well. Bram, engage Henry and lock down the shop. And you just sit through an intercom. Yes, sir. And Yarrick, 7 feet tall, blue, construct in blue robes, comes out. And there's a rope to the Witterquick. He looks up. I hope you know what you're doing.
I just smirk, and then I'll rappel upwards.
Yarrick produces like a device. It's like a clamp with wheels on it, and he clamps onto the rope and... and there we all are. Everyone except Ina and Tharivold on the top deck of the Witterquick at this summit that you have brokered. Lorcan Stucker, clutching the ballista, looks towards his 2 henchmen. They produce laser rifles as the Magian gets aboard. The Magian stands at the very end of the deck, accompanied by Prin. Well, if it isn't Yarrick Voshev, says Lorcan. You've put scores of workers out of a job with your automation experiments. And you've even put a few of them in the ground with your reckless experimentation. The Magian kind of looks down at Kryn. You've never seen Yarrick display any emotions, but this looks like a wry look. He says to you, I authorize you to negotiate on my behalf. I'm willing to adhere to any terms which you deem reasonable. And he puts his hand on your shoulder. This is the DM saying, I'm not negotiating with myself.
Dan, we have spent ages setting this up. That's the least you could do.
So then, Lorcan, what does it take for you to be satisfied, at least for the time being, that there'll be an agreement of non-violence?
I need 2 things. Compensation. Too many working hours and too many lives have been lost. Too many families have been affected by the machinations of this Magian for that to go unpaid for, especially when he negotiates lucrative fees for his weapons manufacturing. Number 2, I need assurances that he will not be able to build any more impulse cores or contribute any further to the automation of the Mester Valiok workforce. And he folds his arms kind of triumphantly.
The first part I consider completely reasonable. It's fair that you should be reimbursed the great cost incurred by the families of the miners. However, the second part doesn't seem realistic for a long-lasting peace agreement. The Magian is, by nature, a man of scientific progress, of invention and innovation. It seems to me that both parties could benefit much more from an agreement where such devices that may be invented in the future might be contracted to uphold by law, not to be used for the purpose that would incur further cost or misery to the families and the economy of the cold iron mines. You know, you stand to make a lot of money here, Lorcan, if you can just get this thing right. The things he's making in there, I mean, as you said yourself, can drive a gigantic profit. You could come to some sort of agreement on how you can better make these mines efficient, and think of what you could achieve together. You could both have more than double of what you had when you started.
Seems pretty compelling. I'm going to give you advantage on a persuasion check.
Ooh, 29. I didn't even roll with advantage.
Is that with it? I'm scared of advantage if you roll 29.
Yeah.
With a 29, Kryn proves himself to be a shrewd negotiator. Was it the decades observing his consec compatriots cut capitalist deals, motivated by nothing really more than profit? Even so, it seems like it is music to Stucker's ears. Very well. If this Magian can work with the unions to deliver greater efficiencies that result in lower risk and more profit that will be shared amongst the workforce, I'd sign a writ. Protect the gearbox and let him continue with his technological explorations. However, this writ will need to be ratified.
By a third party, of course.
By the KFZ. Down there. The planet-side mines are in their jurisdiction, in the territory of Darkusk. Once a new agreement's been forged, they'll need to agree to oversee it. Otherwise, it's up to me and the Magian to enforce things. We can't be there day to day.
All right, then, let's set about making this draft. And I will suggest that we draft up an agreement just so that we don't back and forth and back and forth. We'll draft one up here that they both agree to. And then we take that draft to the KFZ to be, what do you call it? Clarified or whatever.
Ratified,
yeah.
With your skills of persuasion, you've managed to avoid further bloodshed. And Yarrick and Lorcan sign off on this treaty that you then can have. So you can just, I will write this treaty up as a bit of a law document. But you can, Kryn Kryn should add it to his inventory. Just put
Yeah, I'll just put like
Yarrick Lorcan Treaty or Peace Treaty or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
With that, it's not long before a union-approved taxi, like transportation, arrives, like a little skiff, to take Lorcan and his two goons away. Anything you want to say or do with Lorcan before he departs the Witterquick?
Just stare at him as he walks past, and all his goons walk past, giving it the big macho.
Yeah, give it another intimidation check there, Zam.
18.
Yeah. With an 18, one of the goons goes to kind of put his rifle over his shoulder, abruptly to try and intimidate you. And then as he looks, you kind of seem to have swelled in size, even subconsciously. He kind of drops his laser rifle on the deck and doesn't bother picking it up.
Hey.
While all the negotiations going on, can I have scan the ship, using the helm and seeing if things are missing, if they've taken anything? If I don't think we have an awful lot, really, but
you don't really have an awful lot. But I'll allow you to. I won't even roll for it because psychically, you can see that as far as you're aware, without doing a forensic inspection of every box and bag aboard, that nothing seems to have been taken.
Right.
They weren't out to rob you. They had more important things to consider. But you managed to successfely negotiate this treaty, which needs ratifying by the KFZ.
We did
it. You have managed to bring the Witterquick to the gearbox for the retrofitting of a plasma cannon. So, Craig, you're overseeing the Witterquick stats, aren't you?
Yeah.
So remind me what a ballista's damage is.
So ballista is range attack of +6, a range of 120 short, 480 feet long.
Okay, so a plasma cannon will still be a +6 to hit.
Yeah.
But it has a shorter range, so it's at 80 foot to 240 foot. Yeah.
80 and 240.
Yeah. So 80 normal range, up to 240 long range. It's not that long range. And what's the damage?
3d10 piercing.
3d10. The plasma cannon is 5d8. Which is much more reliable damage output.
Still piercing, or is that more like a...
Oh, no, it is radiant damage.
Radiant, that was it.
Ina, when Lorcan departs, you feel Tharivold relax. And your consciousness kind of contracts and you feel normal again.
Did I hear that or watch that or sense that happening?
Yeah, all of it. It's like you were there.
Ooh. Are you all right? I'll say to Tharivold.
I'm glad that there were no further confrontations.
He
I
really
want
bothered you.
Yeah, I want you to make now a perception check if you can.
Okay. It's an 18.
For an 18, you notice Tharivold look over his shoulder. His consciousness, as you know, extends far beyond the normal parameters, but it's like he can hear something.
And can I, if I've got my hand on him, can I kind of tune into it, or no? Is that gone?
It's gone.
Okay. Can you tell me what it is that you can hear?
He speaks to you, but the voice rebounds. He says, an echo, 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 echo.
Of who? Of what?
He doesn't say anything else. He slumps on his side and appears to go to sleep.
Okay. We're going to deduct another ration and leave one with him.
Yarrick gets ready to depart. Well, I trust that you will proceed in ratifying the treaty. Thank you for brokering a peace that I did not think was possible.
Well, it'll be your job and Larkin's to uphold it from here on out.
I now feel confident in revealing the identity of my previous client.
Please.
In truth, it was less of a customer service relationship and more of a collaboration. For the elf that appeared at the gearbox within the last 10 days was really the pivotal piece of inspiration that allowed me to complete the impulse core. I shared my plans with him as they're as much his as they are mine. He is from a noble house of the astral ascendancy, and given that I occupy a place on Mester Valleyok, I felt that I had no place to conceal my progress. It's like if royalty attended your place of work. I have a reputation to consider. His name was Ormathax. He had blonde hair and starry blue eyes. He was extremely knowledgeable. He said he was mounting an expedition. He needed some technological upgrades. A way to contain a sentient intelligence. He also armed his ship considerably with my weaponry and outfitted his crew with no small amount of technological survival advantages. What is your relationship to him?
Political and complex. In gathering this expedition, did he then set out to the surface of Kelenosh Prime, or leave off planet?
He said he wanted to return to Erindor, but he couldn't until he retrieved something from the surface of Kelenosh. Was 4 days ago. It's unlikely that he has travelled to the surface and returned to space in that time.
And he needed this impulse core, the means to contain a sentience before he went to the surface of Kelenosh Prime, or was it something that he needed for Erindor?
That was unclear.
Understood. If there's anything else you can think of that might be relevant or helpful to us, please.
He did take a large amount of explosives.
Oh.
For excavation purposes, he said.
Do you have the means, if it were required, to escape and leave planet side with Bram?
Mester Valiok floats in the upper atmosphere.
You might need to get a little further away than that.
He kind of looks down, acknowledging your meaning and processing the implication, but is unable to come to a conclusion in that moment. Very well.
All right, I'll shake his hand.
You feel his artificial skin over a cold steel grip.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen fit to give thanks to a mortal before, except for when we have exchanged goods for payment. I appreciate that you approached my workshop with an open mind and a willingness to make peace. He presses a button on a display that he's got at his desk, and he brings up your concept profile.
Mm-hmm.
As a former concept operative, perhaps I misjudged you. the progress that I've made since your what's the word I'm looking for? Incursion into my workshop. I've been able to infiltrate contact records. Delete it if you like.
Yeah, I'll step in front of it and I'll read it. What's it like? Anything stand out?
Your employment history comes up pretty much as you remember it. And then it comes up with your recent retirement. And then you realize you're not looking at a HR record. You're looking at a surveillance record. You were tracked from Kython to the Shattered Hymn. That you remember being talked at a little bit too enthusiastically by other people on the public transport. Their recollection of your fairly reserved, stoic output on that journey is displayed in front of you. But then what you also see is CCTV footage of you mid-battle on Helios 7. And then the words, high priority target. Brief descriptions of your companions, including a renegade librarian is one description that's given. One diminutive human pirate. And then a load of runes and mathematical formula that it just translates to, in brackets, the anomaly.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of do my best to commit it to memory, and I will press delete.
The screen closes. I'm not sure how permanent this altering of concept records will be, and whether a backup exists. However, if you are still being pursued, it's sure to slow them down.
Appreciate it, Yarrick. You've made quite the mend on your reputation.
Reputation is everything.
Well, let's hope yours in positive regard will precede you from here on out and serve you better than the stereotyping and criticism that came before.
He nods and gestures you to the skylight where the Witterquick hovers, and the you can make your way back aboard.
Awesome.
And unless anyone has anything else, I think we will leave it there at the resumption of this successful negotiation. Some story progression, bit more lore.
We did it.
Cool.
Well done. Well done. It's not often that we successfully negotiate or navigate a peaceful treaty negotiation in D&D, but hey, you did it.
Is it often you have a paladin that can't roll below 25?
Yeah, some of those rolls were ridiculous. I couldn't, I had no power to direct the story in any other way given those rolls.
I feel like it almost came close to us just derailing it and just killing Lorcan anyway. Like that was very, very close. It felt like
I tempted you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty hateful.
Very good. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us, everybody in YouTube land. We will see you next time for a descent to Darkusk or the Jelenos surface.
Nice.
Maybe. We'll see.
Till then.